because above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, well, life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, the life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be
Well, good afternoon. My name is Brad Webber, and my role here today is to help celebrate the life of and pay tribute to the late Deborah Ann Cooper, or as known by you all, Deb or Debbie. Debbie passed away on the 3rd of April. Debbie was 64 years of age. So on behalf of Debbie's husband Mark and all of Debbie's family, thank you so much for your presence today. I'd like to say a big special thank you to everyone who's dialed in remotely and watching. The family wish to say a big heartfelt thank you for whether your presence here or presence online. The family also wish to acknowledge and thank anyone who's travelled from near or far to be here this afternoon. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to either watch online or be here present. The family says thank you for coming to say your farewells and of course to pay tribute to Debbie's life. Now, Deborah Ann Hale was born at Nyngan on the 31st of January 1956 to parents Robert and Joan. Debbie is one of 6 children. She was third born into the family. She has an older sister Rhonda, an older brother Robert, and 3 younger brothers, Mark, Tony and Peter. The family had moved to Sydney in time for Debbie to start her schooling at Seaforth Primary and then moved out to Mumble near Dubbo for a period of time before moving back into the Wyong area where Debbie attended Wyong High School. Now, Debbie actually held a very long-standing sporting record for javelin throw at Wyong. She was also quite a keen and capable tennis player, having the privilege of playing a match against Mark Edmondson. After schooling was completed, Debbie went down a nursing career, which saw her become a registered nurse and then became a clinical nurse specialist. And Mark told me she was very well respected in her area. Debbie and Mark were first introduced by Debbie's sister Rhonda. The couple married not far from here in 1988 and have been inseparable since. Debbie loved to travel and the Pacific Islands were her favourite, Fiji, Hawaii, Vanuatu. Debbie enjoyed her sewing, her gardening and her cooking. Debbie's greatest passion in life, however, was being a mother to Heidi, Christopher, Shaun and Michael, and his grandmother to Aaron, Ayla, Flynn and Elsie. I'd now love to ask Heidi to come and share some thoughts and memories.
Do my very best. To dear Mum, I've really struggled to write this to you. There is not enough time in the world to say all that I want to say, or even enough paper to write it on. A part of me is left and I struggle to find the strength. But I managed to write a few little things to share with you and everybody else, so you have no choice now. I'm going to read them. I'll miss more than anything the sound of your voice. The way you answer the phone has been exactly the same for as long as I can remember, and the comfort I feel when I hear it is bliss. Our long chats sitting on the veranda. And always helping me to get through whatever was going on in my life. I'll miss your most beautiful and unique handwriting and your signature that I actually managed to forge when I was in Year 6. Your hard-working spirit and determination, your stubbornness to never let anything overcome you, your logic, reasoning, teaching me that you can do anything on your own if you have to, but always accept the help of others, and your selflessness. When I was 8, you let me make a garden under the letterbox out the front that was just mine, and I continue to find total happiness in gardening, just as you did, and how you find the most happiness in yours. You put up with all the animals I brought home without permission, but deep down I know you love them too. When I talked to Gussie Goo, whom you affectionately nicknamed and would sneak treats to, his ears prick up at the mention of Nanny. Thank you for my brothers, no sister in there, but I love them all the same. I followed in your nursing footsteps with a little prompting from you, of course. Your knowledge and commitment to your work was tireless. I have nothing but total admiration for what you did. I know all your work colleagues, families and children you cared for feel exactly the same. When we were kids, we had to be so quiet when you were sleeping off your night shifts. All the kids in the street knew to never play under your window. Chris and I would spend the time cleaning the yard, or I'd reorganise all your paperwork, which drove you nuts. You taught me how to cook, and for my love of baking, I remember the big old olive green cookbook you had that I made everything from. Today I make all your meals you cooked for us when we were growing up, except for beef stroganoff and baked lamb's fry. Oh my God, I hated those. I'm blessed that you will be a memorable part of Erin, Isla and Flynn's lives. Even in your last days, you were trying to help me organise kids and babysitting and what they needed and offering me advice. In your very last hours, you asked me where the kids were and if they were okay. Nanny, you will never be forgotten, and I will never stop talking to them about you. Thank you for giving me your best, and thank you for you. You made me who I am. Some would say I am you, and that we are uncannily similar. I'll miss you with all my heart. You are my best friend, my everything, my mum.
Thank you, Heidi. Shaun, you'd like to share?
My first memory of Mum was me pulling on her harp, not wanting to go to Wyong Public School. No, I don't want to go. But she was insistent and kept dragging me to school. And looking back now, I'm grateful that she is the stern woman I knew up until her passing. She always roused me for not putting deodorant on. She had such a strong spirit that she commented that I stank when I visited her. Growing up, she was always stern and fair, never letting me slack off my studies. I remember one time when she had to complete an entire assignment for me in Year 6, and after that I would never allow her to do another one again. The most profound moments was when my mum told me to enter university and granting me a trip to Japan, which helped me decide that I wanted to become a Japanese language teacher. I didn't think I could succeed, but she and Dad were always there to support me. And every day I drove to university, she would say, drive carefully. There's a lot of idiots on the road. She was always there to kick me up the bum and keep me on track. Her last words to me is something I'll never forget. I'm having a jammy day. I can never thank or repay my mum and dad for helping me travel the world, but I can make them both proud when I become a teacher in Japanese. Throughout my life, she was incredibly supportive of my education, starting all the way when I was entering kindy and pulling away. But she was always pushing me towards my goal. And my only regret is that she couldn't see me graduate in life, but she'll see me graduate in heaven. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaun. Michael, you're right to share.
Mum was an inspirational to all of us. Mum held our family together, supported everyone, and put people first before her own. Mum was gentle and loving, she was strong, and she was a fighter. She took on every challenge and she did it with grace. If my mum was one thing, it was love. She showed it boldly and in all the small ways in between. But through everything Mum went through, she managed to keep her priorities straight and her head held high. You wouldn't even notice if there was anything wrong with Mum. She was that strong and courageous that I didn't have to worry about Mum at all. She was loving and caring, and I'm proud to be in this world. I'm proud to be her son and the way I'm raised in what I've become. What can be more important than loving and showing your love for your family? That is what Mum did. A piece of my heart feels empty, yet it is not gone. The peace from my heart has gone to Mum from the heavens above. I will cherish the memories I've had with Mum from when I was little, being chased by Mum, crawling on her knees trying to get me, to when I got upset one day and couldn't get what I wanted. So I said, F you to Mum. Mum said, what did you say? Out of shock. I ran away as quickly as I can, hid behind the lounge. Mum yelled out, where are you? I said, I'm behind the lounge. I gave away my position. To my wedding in 2016 when I got married, Mum was so proud of me and what I've become. To my daughter Elsie being born, I'm privileged that my daughter met her nanny and spent some time with her within the time given. I will make you proud, Mum, and continue to make this generation. You will never be forgotten, and I'll tell my kids about you every day and show pictures as much as I can. They'll eventually soon realise and know how inspirational, loving, caring of a nanny you was. I love you, Mum. Rest in peace.
Thank you, Michael. Mark, you okay to share?
Good afternoon. I'm Debbie's loving husband, and this is a few words from her sister, Rhonda. Debbie, my little sister, how unfair life is to take away from us this way. I remember the righteous giggles as little girls. I remember how beautiful you looked when you married Mark on your wedding day. I know how hard you have worked to better yourself and provide for your children. You were a generous-spirited soul who would give a hand when needed, my son included. When we lost him, you put your life on hold to be with me. You don't forget things like that. My prayer is that you are in the arms of those that have watched over you and waited for you. A candle is burning for you, Rhonda. This one is from her brother, Bob. We were best mates, always helping each other out. If it was me getting help with some silly thing I did or in some trouble, she was always there for me. Or if she got some old car that wasn't worth $100 and I had to fix it up and make it go. I had some sadness in my life, and then she was helping me out, as always. She had her own problems at times, and I worked with her and helped her through. As she did with me, she had a wonderful job helping little babies and children with problems, making their life better. Debbie will be missed so much by a lot of people and all of her family. Goodbye, Debbie. I met Debbie in early 1987. Rhonda's sister thought we were a good match, and Rhonda was right. I married Debbie 26th of March 1988. As we became closer together, I learned about some of her younger days. Debbie, Rhonda and Mark, her brother, had a very difficult upbringing. The three of them spent about 4 years in a children's home. They were then reunited with their mother and found out that they had a brother, Bob, in the late 70s. Joan had another baby, Tony, then Peter came along. Debbie described going to school with no uniform. She was envious of other school children because they had a uniform and she didn't. There was little playtime for Debbie as a child. When she came home from school, she would collect eggs, milk, cows, feed the goats, and many other chores. Debbie did, however, have small moments of freedom where she would play, enjoy being a little girl that she remembers with great joy. As time went by, she grew a stronger person within herself. She started her nursing career, which began at Gosford Hospital and graduated in 1975. Debbie married Robert White, 25th June 1976. Heidi was born April 4th, 1978, a very difficult birth, and her only daughter. Chris was born 18 months later, a little earlier than expected, 13th of December 1979. They separated in 1983, and Debbie spent the next few years working tirelessly and caring for Heidi and Chris, continuing her nursing and nearly all night shifts. That is around the time I met Debbie. She was so beautiful. We decided that we would live together and begin to live a love and happy life. Debbie was really feeling at ease and enjoying her time. Then she decided to join All Care, where she began looking after sick children in their homes for many years. She also worked with Coastlink at the same time, always busy, caring, extending herself to others. On the 29th of April 1990, after a long birth, Shaun was born. And just 9 months later, 3 months premature, Michael spent 3 months in a mini crib. His hand was the size of my finger. He was born on the 4th of February 1991. She was overjoyed at the birth of her boys. She began to realise her interest and speciality in caring for children. Debbie completed a diploma of child and family health through the University of Tasmania and gained her title of clinical nurse specialist. This brings her to her present job with the community paediatric team at Wyong Hospital, where she spent her days caring for babies, children, and helping families through the process of their care and journey to heaven. Her dedication to her job was exceptional. She was always there for everyone who needed comfort, visiting families in their own homes, giving advice to the family on how to best look after their children, hours and hours teaching in schools and care. Westmead Hospital even called her for advice. The staff she worked with great respect for her, admiration and love. Debbie loved riding on our Sportster 883 on weekends. We are among the first to join Central Coast Togs and doing the Kids in Need ride every year, hoping to win a Harley bike. And we didn't. We have had the most amazing life together. Her support and love prevailed our ups and downs. When she got cranky with me, she would give me the finger and I would give her the finger. Then I would say, "Can I hold it?" She wanted to go overseas, so we visited Fiji, Hawaii, Vanuatu. In the last 3 years, Debbie was so proud of Heidi when she got married to Michael Chapman, seeing her grandchildren grow, Erin, Isla and Flynn. Then came the marriage of Michael to Ali, who gave birth to Elsie. I am really glad that the last 8 years of her life were the happiest. I will miss my most beautiful wife. I've lost part of me that will be sorely missed. And I would like to thank Heidi, Michael, Shaun, who have given me the support. Megan Harris, who has known Debbie for over 30 years, supporting each other in times of need. Also, in giving me support most needed. Thank you. God bless you, Debbie.
Thank you, Mark. We're going to pause the service for a few moments now. We're going to put some images up from Debbie's life. You've each arrived today with your own individual memories of Debbie. What this does now, it gives you a chance to grab some more memories, add them to the ones that you've arrived with, and leave with an even bigger picture of Debbie's life.
You sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm. You gave my life to me, set me free, set me free. The finest years I ever knew, for all the years I had with you. And I would give anything I own, give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own, just to have you back again. You taught me how to love, what it's all. You never said too much, but still you showed the way. And I knew from watching you, nobody else could ever know the part of me that can't let go. And I would give anything I own, give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own, just to have you back again. Is there someone you know, you're loving them so, but taking them all for granted? You may lose them one day, someone takes them away, and they don't hear the words you long to say. I would give anything I own, give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own, just to have you back again, just to touch you once again. And they don't hear the words you long to say. I would give anything I own, give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own, just to have you back again. just to touch you once again.
We will shortly be committing Debbie's physical body to the elements. Before we do that, however, let us each be thankful and grateful for her life. I'd like each of you just to pause and remember the impact that Debbie's life has had on yours. You'll each remember Debbie's life by the memories that she leaves behind. Those of us who feel deeply will grieve deeply. No philosophy or religion ever taught to us can prevent this natural reaction from the human heart. We come into the world with nothing, we leave with nothing. However, the memories that we leave behind with our family and our friends, well, they're a mark of our life success. I'm sure you'll each agree that Debbie was a very successful woman. Debbie, as you watch over those you loved, I know that when they listen to the ocean, it will be your whispers they hear. When a cool breeze caresses their cheeks, it will be your spirit passing by. You are not gone from us. You are watching over your family and guiding them towards the future. Today is not goodbye. Today is thank you. Thank you for touching our lives and giving us joy. We thank you for the memories that we will cherish forever. We thank you for the good times and for your loyalty to family and friends. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your laughter. Your life we honour, your departure we accept, your memories we will cherish. Ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude our chapel portion of today's service. Thank you once again to those who have dialed in and who are watching from home or wherever you are. We will shortly be proceeding to graveside for Debbie's placement. Thank you all. Chapel staff, thank you.
Woman of the country, now I find you longing in your soft and fertile dew.